welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel today, guys. And what is coming up is a really exciting video because we are going to be talking Ferran Torres and exactly how and where he's going to fit into Xavi's plans at Barça. We are going to be looking about what kind of player we've signed, what sort of role is he going to have in this team, and especially they're focusing on the possible combinations, the possible partnerships across that front line, and especially with a view to the future. It looks very promising indeed. So let's not waste any time and get to it. Because as we have said before, Ferran Torres, the incoming signing from Man City, is a player here who's been personally requested by Xavi Hernandez himself. Quite clearly there, Xavi knows exactly what he's going to get from Ferran, what he wants from him, and with the investment the club have made in Ferran, quite clearly we're very confident that he's going to fit perfectly into what Xavi wants to do at this club. I think Ferran arrives here as a very versatile forward. He's not just somebody there who's stuck in one particular position, one particular role. He's somebody who can play in multiple different areas of the field. We've seen him play there out on the wide right-hand side, playing as that inside forward, but he can also play, and he has been developing his game in the false nine role as well under both Pep Guardiola and indeed Luis Enrique, learning from the best. And if I did have to single out one particular comparison, maybe one former Barca player that I think Ferran can take real inspiration from, something that he can really work towards, I would look at David Villa. Now this is an interesting one because those who have watched Ferran certainly develop so far in his career, started out of course at Valencia, the comparisons have been made between himself and David Villa, the kind of player that Villa was, the kind of finisher that he was in front of goal. And of course it's very early days. If Ferran can go on to achieve even some of what David Villa did, we are onto something here very special. But I think it's that movement, and I think it's that tactical intelligence that Ferran Torres is going to bring into this team that Xavi, I think he really likes that, because I think over the past few years at Barca, we have lacked genuine movement in the forward areas, genuine understanding of how a player at Barca should be in their role. Xavi has spoken about that before as well, because I think at our most dangerous, when we are the biggest threat up front, what you do need to have is movement everywhere across that front line. You need players there who are opening up passing lanes, giving the man on the ball options, trying to stretch the pitch, trying to make sure that you've got options in behind, options coming short. And I think Ferran is somebody who can certainly come in and really add to that and give Xavi another really important option. And I think when you are looking at the front line, what you are going to have is Ansu Fati there. Providing, of course, everybody is fully fit, fully ready to go. You're going to have Ansu Fati in that front line, of course you are. You're also going to have probably Ousmane Dembélé. Looks now like he's going to stay at Barca, providing he stays fit. He's going to be out there on that right-hand side, which leaves Ferran then potentially down the middle. But that's the thing about these three players, and I think this is an unbelievably exciting front three, because you look at them in those positions and you think that's great. They're very dangerous players. They can all work well together, but crucially, they're so flexible. They are so adaptable there in their roles. It could be Ansu from the left. It could be Ansu down the middle, because Dembélé is fully capable of playing on both wings. He could easily come across here to the left-hand side, and if he does that, Ferran can move to the right. And you just imagine what that's like in game, because if you do start here with players who are tactically disciplined, they can easily play in these positions here and be very disciplined in those roles. Dembélé right, Ferran can easily play down the middle, Ansu can play there too. But then you just imagine it as you're going through a game, suddenly then, these players, they start to interchange. You've got Ansu Fati then making central runs. You've got Ferran Torres maybe drifting out to the right. You've got Dembélé over to the left-hand side. And suddenly then, you think about defending that. You have no idea where Ansu's going to pop up next. You don't know if Ferran is going to be already in the box, or is he going to be arriving into the box? It's so difficult to mark players when you don't know where they're going to be. It leads to miscommunication. You don't know whether Dembélé, somebody should be following him. He's going to go to a different marker here on the left-hand side. Then you've got Ferran, who's an entirely different player. And I think it's so important in that front line to have different profiles. You've got pace with Dembélé. You've got unbelievable acceleration, close control there. Somebody 1 versus 1 who is absolutely phenomenal. And then you've got these two, Ansu and Ferran, that if they get a chance in the box, they're putting it away. If you give them a split second inside the area, they can finish you off. And they can constantly interchange, constantly take up different positions. And I think that is unbelievably exciting for what we want to do. And that is not even all, because that's just focusing on the front three. That's just focusing on what they're going to do, but it's also what a kind of profile like Ferran can bring to the rest of the team. Because I'll tell you now, if you play him here in this false nine position, he can easily drop in, get involved there in the build-up with the rest of the midfield, whether it's Xavi here, whether it's Pedri. Pick those two players because he's already combined with them, remember, at international level, and he can do that. He will fully understand where they're going to be, the runs that they're going to make, but also he might go out wide too. You might actually then start to have a 2-on-1 situation there where maybe you're overloading on one side of a team, maybe to really target a weakness, and then you've got players like Pedri and especially Xavi who will make runs in here, who are comfortable in these kind of spaces, and I just think it makes for such a fluid team. Whether that's Xavi or Pedri, you could obviously bring De Jong in there. Maybe we'll see De Jong in a deeper role at Barca. You could bring in Nico Gonzalez, and you just look at that team with everyone fit. And there's so many possibilities, so many different options there. When in game, you're trying to solve a problem, you're trying to break down a defence, you've got lots of different oppositions to face over the course of a season. All of your answers, all of your solutions, those players right there, and the attributes they have, they can find them. But of course, guys, let me make it absolutely clear that that there for me is a front three that can be used in the present, that can be used in the future, and if everybody was fit and available, that would be my number one go-to combination. But let's be real here. This is Barca. We have an appalling injury record. We have an enormous amount of games that we play every single season from La Liga. This season, you've got the Europa League, you've got the Copa del Rey, you've got the Super Copa, and you can guarantee that throughout that season, you need options. You need players that if there's an injury, a suspension, a different competition, lots of games, you need players who can come in and still give you depth in that squad. And that's why it's not just about those three. Because you could also add in there, when he's back from injury, Memphis Depay, somebody, of course, who started his Barcelona career in rapid fashion, absolutely fantastic goal-scoring wise. Then it tailed off. But you imagine maybe if he has that bit more movement around him, maybe he has somebody here like Ansu Fati, like Ferran Torres, who if Memphis wants to come in here, if Memphis maybe doesn't want to be that out-and-out number 9, will he feel much better with somebody around him who can also take on shots, who can also be the source of goals? Will that help support Memphis in a much better way? Another player that I would not forget is Ferran Torres. I don't think he should be forgotten by any means at all. I think he's come into the team, he's played in that number 9 position, and he's done it really, really well. He understands the way that we want to play. I could see him linking up well, very, very well, with the likes of Ansu coming back, Ferran coming in. He could do very, very well alongside those players. And of course, don't forget Abde either. But I think just to prove my point, he's going to be going away, it looks like now, for the African Cup of Nations for Morocco in January. Xavi is going to be unlikely to be able to call upon him if indeed he does go to that competition. And that's exactly why you need options, because he is somebody who we've been relying on in recent weeks, but you need players who can come in. You need players there that when there are selection issues, you can all take up that position and still keep the kind of shape that we want under Xavi. And of course, there is the likes of Felipe Coutinho, Yusuf Demir, Martin Braithwaite, Luke de Jong. These are all players and attackers that remain on the Barcelona books. Whether that will be the case beyond January, we will have to wait and see. But I think what Ferran does, he does bring a real element here of that killer nature. I think in the final third this season, a lot of our build-up has been very, very good. A lot of our players been very crisp and exciting. But it's that final touch. We need a goal scorer. And of course, even if Ferran here isn't that outright number 9, it's still not ruled out that we could still bring that in. But he's still a clinical touch, that real clinical nature in front of goal. He's got that in abundance. And I am incredibly excited to see Ferran Torres in a Barcelona shirt. So please, guys, do leave your thoughts in the comments down below based on the combinations and those partnerships that we have discussed today. Which one there was your favourite? What do you make there of that Ansu, Ferran and Dembélé front three? Do you believe that can be a real source of success and excitement for this club? Let me know those thoughts down below and how you see Ferran fitting into Xavi's plans. I will, of course, see you soon with plenty more videos to come. Thank you for watching and for supporting. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.